For my social justice project, I volunteered at Sensory Freeway, a state-of-the-art facility that provides therapy to children. At the site, there are developmental toys and other equipment designed to provide optimal sensory input for specific sensory systems and promote exploration on the part of the child. At the site, I also work with children who have a wide range of diagnoses. Alongside with other volunteers, we promote a nurturing setting where we teach children to explore their environment and learn that they can do anything that they want to achieve, regardless of their disabilities. Without dignity, how would we treat one another? Society would be an unjust environment full of ill-mannered and discourteous people. That would be no way to live. The Catholic Church proclaims that human life is sacred and that the dignity of the human person is the foundation of a moral vision for society. This belief is the foundation of all the principles of our social teaching. The dignity of work is important for us to protect. Work is not just about making a living. It's about working as a united forefront under God and all of His creation. Work belongs to the vocation of every person. With human work, we are fulfilling the ideas of human dignity by engaging in the work of God. At Sensory Freeway, my peers and I work together to create a community that promotes tranquility and peace. We promote the idea of a cohesive harmony so all of the children will feel welcomed in our community. We also teach moral and just ideals to the children at the site so that they can become leaders of peace as well. By teaching these virtues, the children learn not to discriminate against others and to become children of God through this. Family serves as a basis of society. Family is defined as a group of people consisting of parents and children living together in a household. However, it's much more than that. All families are unique and differ from one another. They share different values, interests, and cultures. Society is like this. It's full of distinct individuals. Families are the community that teach important values such as morality and faith. This means that family is our primary source of education in the community. Although the church teaches us about our faith, our families are the first ones to introduce us to our key virtues. Families are the basic building blocks of community. This theme relates to the service site I am committed to work at because I work with others to better society. Other volunteers, including myself, join together to teach children therapeutic skills to assist their needs. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, whatever our nationality, place of residence, sex, ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. When others are not being treated with dignity that they deserve, we should speak up for them. The Catholic tradition teaches that human dignity can be protected and a healthy community can be achieved only if human rights are protected and responsibilities are met. Therefore, every person has a fundamental right to life and a right to those things required for human decency. At my service site, human rights that are being abused are being addressed as well. Don't discriminate is a prevalent one. Children with disabilities are constantly being discriminated against by others. While the inequity may not be subjected to only bullying, oftentimes activity limitation children are not allowed to participate in activities or are not provided with necessary treatment that they need, therefore becoming discriminated. My service site is seeking to educate others on this topic so that they have a better understanding and can help the cause. The vulnerable are susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. One societal root cause for the injustices against these groups of people are specific to their cause. For instance, the middle class is vulnerable to society because they can fall along the lines of unemployment. Therefore, they are more liable to become in debt, unable to feed their families, and much more. Another group of people that are vulnerable to society are elderly people. Their cognitive impairment, physical disabilities, and other functional limitations make it difficult to speak up about their needs. Thus, they may not receive the proper medical care they need. This can cause long-term issues if they are not immediately receiving medications they need, for example. It can cause a risk of complications. All of these groups are targeted because they are unable to protect themselves against harm or exploitation by reasons rooted in their particular situation. This theme of the poor and vulnerable relates to my service site because I am serving the vulnerable. People with disabilities, especially children who have motor, language, and speech difficulties, will have an even more troublesome time communicating with others. This means that they are more at risk. Volunteers such as myself are helping these children improve in their verbal communication so they can speak up when dealing with discrete settings. Dignity is a concept that expresses the idea that human beings have the right to be valued, respected, and treated ethically. From the moment that we are conceived, we are introduced to the concept of dignity. A person's dignity originates from the time of their birth and continues throughout their life as they grow to become a morally righteous person, worthy of respect from God and his or her community. Everyone is deserving of dignity, hence from womb to tomb. God teaches us that we should all be treated with civility and honor. The economy must serve the people, not the other way around. Work is more than a way to make a living. It's about participation under God's creation. This means that working conditions have to take reverence in people's rights. Pope Leo XIII stressed the dignity of work, calling for change that would protect the rights of workers who are not receiving their basic work rights. This theme relates to my service of work that I have committed to do because rights of the children I work with are violated. At my community service site, I work with children who have oral, physical, and mental disabilities. At the site, alongside with other volunteers and workers, we act hand in hand to strengthen and improve their abilities. People who have disabilities of any kind are often discriminated against. People think that they are not capable of completing what one might perceive as more difficult tasks, and thus are assigned more menial and less analytical assignments. However, having a disability doesn't always prevent a person from doing their job. In fact, it perseveres them even more to achieve their goals. Solidarity is about valuing our fellow human beings and respecting who they are as individuals. We are one human family no matter our religion, race, or economic state. As Catholics and humans, we are called to promote peace on earth, being in a world full of violence. By loving our brothers and sisters, we are pursuing the virtues of solidarity. The principle of solidarity calls us to be peacemakers, especially due to the prevailing violence we face in our country and world. We must make it our mission to spread peace and stop the hatred that has taken over it. Solidarity and discrimination are related to one another, because if we do not avoid discrimination, there would be no solidarity. Discrimination is described as unjust, prejudiced treatment, while the latter is described as unity among individuals. We as followers of God must work together to overcome discrimination, which has polluted our world greatly, and instead create an environment full of peace and prosperity. At my service site, my peers and I work together to create a community that promotes tranquility and peace. We promote the idea of cohesive harmony so all of the children will feel welcomed in our community. We teach moral and just ideals to the children at the site so they can become leaders of peace as well. Humans play a role in caring for God's creation. Caring for creation can be difficult, especially with our individualism mentality of doing what's best for oneself, rather than as a group. This opposes the ideas of caring for creation. We are constantly bombarded with advertisements and social media posts that teach us to make life easier and more convenient, which tends to promote selfish proclivities. Sometimes we forget to consider what it means to care for God's creation. The earth and all of its life are part of God's creation. We are called to respect this gift and take care of the world we live in. We must share the wonders and resources the earth has given us. Our mistreatment of the world diminishes our dignity and sacredness because, in a way, we are hurting ourselves. The world behaves in a cyclical manner. If everyone continues to pollute their homes by overusing fossil fuels, not conserving energy, and much more, it will come back to us because we are the ones who are inhaling the contaminated air. We are stewards of the earth, called to protect the life and the dignity of the human person by caring for all of creation. We can do this by changing our behavior and taking notice in our actions as a collective community. The choices we make every day impact the well-being of Earth, but if we all make choices in favor of our stewardship, we can help better Earth and restore God's creation. At Sensory Freeway, we are all taught to respect one another as righteous citizens and children of God. By living on Earth, we are called upon to uphold our stewardship of protecting God's creation. With this responsibility in mind, we must care for one another with eternal love, support, and have no pessimistic judgment. At my service site, I also conducted an interview with Anna Keenigan, the executive director of Sensory Freeway. When I asked her how her work related to social justice, she replied, "Many of the children I work with are at an early intervention stage. Therefore, they get the support they need in order to become developmentally equal with their peers. We want to provide them with the opportunities to reach their full potential and understand that they're capable of achieving anything." Another question I asked Anna Keenigan pertaining to her work at the site was what she liked best there. She said that her favorite part was seeing the improvement and the confidence the children had after her work with them. At my service site, I also learned some significant lessons. Two being, every obstacle is the way forward, and don't let anything stop you from accomplishing your goals. Throughout our lifetime, we will have to face obstacles in life, fair or unfair. But time and time again, we will discover that what matters most is not what these obstacles are, but how we see them, how we react to them, and whether we keep our composure. This will determine how successful we will be in overcoming these obstacles, or even thrive from them. Dignity is important in leading our lives as members of the church and our community. With dignity, we should regard others with kindness and respect and treat others the way we would want to be treated. Everybody has the right to their basic human rights and honors to their behaviors towards one another.